there's these businesses that travel people across bridges because they're so terrified of crossing a bridge. I'm trying to find
It's such a real fear that people are making a business out of it.
Yeah. And like, they seem like a profitable business. That's the crazy part.
Especially after that bridge thing that just happened.
What are we talking about?
That bridge collapse.
In Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was
See
there ever an answer to that one?
What do you mean by that?
Like why it fell? I mean, like, obviously a barge hit it, but like, was it on accident? Was it on purpose? Like, are we trying to take out?
I haven't heard anything.
Are we taking
just
out?
Wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
And they got fined.
Okay. Fined. Not the full bridge price.
Excuse me, I got a call coming in right now.
Hey, yo.
Hi, Ken Isle Express.
And that's how it starts, a phone call at least an hour before you plan to cross to coordinate a meeting spot on either side of the bridge. Some people feel guilty or the need to explain themselves. They don't have to, but they will.
So you drove over and you weren't happy coming back. All right, no worries.
SQ says for a lot of his customers, eastbound is fine, but westbound is a problem.
When you're going westbound, it's more open so they can see.
Among his customers, more
They
than
could
one
see the sea,
gynecologist,
huh?
some news people, some business names you'd recognize, and other names you wouldn't.
Yeah, we have several truck drivers that are OTR drivers over the road.
And what's the ride like? Well, there's conversation if you like, and they'll supply masks, sleep masks, and some people bring blankets.
6'3", 6'5" guys that will get in the back seat and they'll get in the floor and then they'll just cover themselves up.
They also get motorcyclists and bicyclists across. They don't judge people. They help them.
How do
That's what we
excavators
need.
cross?
I like how there was no like conclusion.
There's none. There's fucking none.
Just like, yeah, he's out there. Just call him.
I was thinking how crazy it would be to like. Basically, you're just hiring like a taxi guy, like just like an Uber,
Yeah.
right? But like getting into the floor board of the back seat and covering up with a blanket, that's next level phobia.
Yeah, and
You
also,
know?
how do you get away with that as the company of the driving company? Like, how is that safe?
You just don't talk about it. You just don't talk about it. I think your fear of a phobia goes beyond the seatbelt license or seatbelt laws.
Fair.
True.
At that point, I mean,
But I
like,
wonder, do these drivers ever get pulled over when there's a 6'5" guy in the back,
Literally.
just on the floorboard?
yeah, like don't maybe like
I'm not hiding a body or anything. He's just scared.
I think maybe you could be like the liability is on the passenger themselves
Yeah.
I could
instead
see it.
of the driver, and so like the driver doesn't get penalized, but.
You gotta say, boo, 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 boo,
I
boo.
know. I know. But she keeps bothering me. I don't know why. Well, she's hungry, but it's like 3 hours before she gets fed. But yeah. I don't know. That's a weird one. I've never understood the fear of bridges. I understand the fear of heights, but I don't understand the fear of bridges.
I think it's the heights and the water combined. That
Sure.
doesn't help.
Yeah.
I bet those people with fear of water and then fear of heights
Mm-hmm.
and then fear of bridges, those people are fucked.
And the
too.
fear of sea.
Yeah.
Dude, if you add the fear of sea too, I guess, yeah. Do you remember when me and you went to Virginia Beach and there was those big bridges? That's just what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
And just think of how much of you're just not a strong person if you fold to that one. I really believe that. Like, come on. Are you really going to let that one? You're going to let that one get a hold of you?
I don't know. I think some of the shit that was crazy when we were going to Virginia Beach was like the what are they called, stilts in the water.
Oh, the poles?
For the highway.
Yeah, and how they were just like they just went straight in and you didn't see.
But you remember seeing like some of that concrete washed away so bad, and it was like it just looked decrepit.
Sure.
That's
Nah,
scary.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Yeah, it was like it was near that part with all the water
Okay.
on that big highway where you go into the tunnel. It was close.
Like all the extra concrete?
It was like I guess they were building like a new.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what you're talking about, because they separate all the water out of those areas to be able to put the concrete in.
Yeah.
And so they make a little dam around the
Wow.
places that they're going to put the concrete pillars in. Is that what you're referring to? I do remember that.
I remember seeing some barges too, and they like had equipment on it and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
It was so cool looking.
And all the concrete or all the construction workers are working on a boat. Yeah,
That's insane.
they're all working on a boat, and then
And
they
it's just
like
floating.
and they just float. Or they just like they boat up to this little like dam that has like a little hole to the surface level of the sea. It's pretty crazy shit.
That's crazy.
Pretty crazy shit.
It seems like they just do a whole bunch of effort for like a little result.
For a little result, yeah. That reminds me of like, well, it's like it's either you have the pillars in the sea floor, or you have a highway that's purely just on the water. That's flotation. Have you seen those?
I have not seen those.
Well, I haven't seen it for the sea, but I've seen it for lakes. Like, floating bridges.
Floating brides.
Oh, Jesus.
I would not want to drive one of those.
Oh, God.
Especially when it's raining and it gets lifted or something. That would not be fun.
Yeah, this is the video. I
Oh,
guess I'm
my
referring
God.
of. How is this happening?
Hey.
So they
Absolutely
can't
not.
speed, and they also have to maintain distance.
Yeah, they have to maintain distance, or you'll create a weird wave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see.
And that's so strange.
Man, that is the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I would
like,
not want to be the driver. I thought this was cool though. How the two shorts, they like look the opposite.
they look.
They're
Oh,
like mirrored.
yeah. Yeah. It's strange. It's a strange one because like when you drive, you feel the sensation of solid earth under you.
Right.
And so when you're driving on this, you must have a complete different sensation.
Yeah, because it looks like his backside is almost like
Yeah. Yeah.
sinking.
This must be like that's what like the weight distribution.
I want to see
Right.
someone try and rally drift through the.
Oh
through there.
my God. That would be terrifying.
Well, you gotta think like if you get out of that, like if you get off the bridge, you are literally having to break your window, or you're gonna have to wait for your car to fill up with water, and then exit it. You know what I mean? Like to be able to open up your door.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever had that thought pattern before? Like,
yeah,
if you,
for sure.
that's a weird thought pattern to have.
Man, that sucks.
I thought you always just pop your window out.
I think
You got to break your window, right? You can't just roll it down.
No, you have to break it.
Well, I mean, I can with my car, I can do this.
Did you know
Yeah.
that? Did you know that seatbelt trick hack though?
What are
Like
you
if
talking
you're in a submersing car, and say like you're drowning in a lake or a pond,
Sure.
you just take your seatbelt, the metal part of it, and you bang it on your window, and it breaks.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I
That's
know
a
that.
nice hack. Thank you.
Yeah.
You might have saved my life.
Saved all of our viewers' lives. Yeah.
Yeah, the metal tip of that
Okay.
actually breaks windows.
That's cool, actually. That's
Yeah.
cool. I've never broken a window before, so I have no concept of how easy it is,
I know.
you know? But when you go outside my place, you can see how easy it is to break windows.
And how quick.
That's hilarious.
How
Yeah.
quick and
Maybe
easy
we
it
should go
is.
to the junkyard and just start testing it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Man.